Member for Cessnock.
Thank you, Speaker. My question is to the Minister for Roads and Minister for Regional Transport. Can the Minister please update the House on the Minns Labor government's work to ensure regional communities get their fair share when it comes to regional roads and infrastructure funding?
Yeah, she can do that.
I call the Minister.
Thank you, Mr Speaker, and it's great to be back, and thank you for the question from the member for Cessnock, a massive advocate for jobs in regional New South Wales, but most importantly for infrastructure and roads, something that we have not had under those opposite. In fact, last night many of you might have gone to the Friends of Regional New South Wales event in Parliament. A great opportunity to talk to many of the chairs, and I was interested to see this little one-pager they produced on RDA, Orana and Hunter Transport Study. Now, total spent on Sydney projects when they were in government, started those projects, $74 billion, every BCR under 2. Compare that with Orana Hunter, Golden Highway Road Corridor, Orana to Newcastle Rail Corridor, BCR's output of 2.3, 1.6 billion. Who put the 1.6 billion in? We did, not them. Now, this is one of the best examples of the injustice, the lack of fairness, the lazy planning and neglect by those opposite for 12 years. And we saw just in that last question, to come out now, they're all the big advocates, the jobs that they cut, all of that happened under their watch in the regions, and they failed every single time.
Member for Dubbo, last warning.
They established renewable energy zones in their regions, but they forgot about the roads to get there. And where we actually had a whole workforce that needed to transition, Hunter Central Coast, who added that? Oh, us, that's right. We had to shame them into reopening Fixing Country Roads, where they'd stole $80.3 million and not funded it. So councils had projects languishing for 3 years, which they failed to fund. And from opposition, we knew we had to make an investment in that corridor. Yeah. And we put a tiny little investment, because you're in opposition, you don't know the full quantum, $12 million. How much did they promise for the Golden Highway around Merriwa? Zero. Donuts. So they did nothing for this. And that's part of the Regional Roads Fund. The 28 projects, majority were in coalition seats when we announced them. But guess what? People voted with their feet.
Member for Terrigal, you're on 3 calls.
Those opposite were never going to fund the infrastructure that their community needed. Now, what did we do to that little $12 million commitment around the Golden Highway? 128.5 just last budget to fix that corridor, and we're continuing
Member
to do that.
Member for Dubbo can leave the chamber under Standing Order 2498 till the end of question time.
Steve Wan came back, right? Got rid of her. She's berating me last budget estimates because we funded a project she'd announced. Because this was what they did. They just announced everything. We're doing this, we're doing that, we're doing that. I get to government, it's like old Mother Hubbard. I'm in the cupboard, it's there every single time. Underfunded.
Member for Canterbury. I can't hear the member for Cessnock. Member for Cessnock.
Speaker, I am shocked by some of the revelations, and I seek an extension of time.
An additional 2 minutes is granted.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. And it's not just investment in new infrastructure, it's the potholes, it's the road recovery. Under those, $10,000 per kilometre if you live in Sydney to get your roads fixed after all that disaster. Under the Nationals, what did they give to the bush? $1,800 a kilometre. $1,800, less than 20%, 1 in 5. What did we do? More than double it when we came into government. What about that big disaster recovery piece? What about the $5 billion worth of damage on our road network? It was going to take, under their watch, 31 years to recover from the last 5 years. That's before you get to this year. They were rolling out recovery funding at $190 million a year. Okay, sounds like a lot. Guess how much we did in the last 12 months? We quintupled it. New word for you guys. 5 times, $985 million on fixing the roads. Where are those roads? In regional New South Wales. Why are we doing it? Because we are the party of the bush. We are the party of the bush. We are the party of fairness and equity. We are the party of Western Sydney, those communities that you left languishing. We are people who actually believe that if you live in this state, You should have access to healthcare. You should have access to hospitals. You should have access to jobs, to economic advantage, to opportunity, to
Member for
resilience,
Murray.
to inclusion, and most importantly, you need a bloody road to get there. Not like what you did, full of potholes, full of neglect, full of maintenance that never ever happened. Our community. I was up in Coffs Harbour the other day.
Member for
They're going to
Coffs
talk
Harbour,
about how we're cutting
now
on
on
their project. You
2
know when
calls.
planning for that happened? 2008, when we were last in government. These projects, M1 to Raymond Terrace, Coffs Harbour, languished on the books for 12 years. It was a lost more than a decade under your watch. They should be absolutely disgraced at themselves.
Member for
you
Coffs
didn't start
Harbour.
it. There's planning there. Luke Bowen Bridge, we were there.
All right,
we were there.
members,
We were there.
Minister, member for Coffs Harbour, we're not going to end up in an argument.